Dennis J. Courtney, MP, director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health, heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and where we encourage you to call in to join in. Today, we're going to open them up to you today. We are live and alive here. We have turned the page. We're the first day of March of this new year of 2010, and we're going to let you set the agenda here. I've got a couple of things on my mind. And one of the interesting things I've come across in the last few days, a Mercola website thing talking about the 7 most important foods to slow down your aging. So we'll throw those out to you today, and you can go out in the store and buy them all and utilize them daily, weekly, monthly, and whatever. But we want you to give us a call today to find out what's on your mind. That can be in the form of a question, could be in the form of a comment. The number to do so, as always, will be 412-825-6262, 412-825-6262. We open them up for you today. Now, talking about how we're going to open things up for the rest of the month, we start out with a Rips in Order here on Wednesday when we bring back a gentleman who really brought an interesting concept to us. Must be, well, about 2 years ago now. His name is Raymond Francis. He had a near-death experience with a head-on collision with conventional medicine. That's where you walk in the hospital vertical and you almost leave horizontal. Well, that led a very intelligent gentleman, Ivy League, Harvard trained, I believe, to think over the matter. It led to a book. We highlighted this book many times here. The book was called, still is, by the way, Never Be Sick Again. Well, Raymond's back at it. He's written another book. I'm dying to find out what he's got in this book, dealing with cancer treatment. I don't know the name of the book. He's going to be our guest on Wednesday. Don't miss it. Raymond Francis here with us. As the rest of the month looks, we're going to have Christopher Moore here on the 17th of the month. He's going to be talking about 4 advances that could end heart disease. I want to know what they are. I'm very interested in cardiovascular disease. You know that because you listen to the show all the time. And then we talk about, well, a lot of emphasis on cardiovascular disease. And probably rightly so, it is our number one and continues to be our number one killer. Then Dr. Ed will be in town this month, and so a lot of festivities that we'll perform here on the show, as well as out at the Marriott, Airport Marriott. Dr. Ed is actually going to be here on the 21st with a free seminar. You know that because he was here last week to talk to you about it. That then leads to a 4-day, I thought it was 4-day seminar, a treatment seminar for those who are interested in actually becoming involved with the non-conventional therapies of a very interesting ophthalmologist trained in the conventional, but bringing to the table a whole host of additional modalities that the conventional community obviously has never even thought about yet. So Dr. Ed's going to be with us. We're going to try to get him here on the 15th, about a week before he's due, to allow most of you to have one final shot at asking your questions to him. And I'm sure, we're going to have a good old time with Dr. Edward Condrut come to town here in the month of March. Hey, I do hear a quick knock at the door. Come on, the store. Hello, and welcome in.
Hey, the one and only Dr. Courtney.
I'm back. How are you doing, Danville?
All right, well, I talked to Wallach again.
Oh, you are into Dead Doctors Don't Lie.
No, but he's trying to and I love the guy, but he's trying to sell me a lot of products. And, well, to cut to the chase, now one of my fingers is starting to buzz a little bit, which is on my right hand, which I'm assuming if there's a little bit of a pinch on a nerve somewhere, that's what it's going to do, and from what I understand, that's what it does.
It could be that. It could be a whole host of other things. But
Right.
So how is Dr. Wallach helping you?
Well, he said, get this, get that, get this, that, and this, and that, and that, and this, and this, and that. And I said, well, Doc, is there another way to, I mean, he doesn't want to hear it. He's selling products, and I understand and I respect him. I know you're not selling as many products as he is, but
let's just say, Dr. Wallach, hey, great guy, and but he has a whole line of products, and he does push them, and you sort of buy into that. You take that on whenever you get as aligned with him as you do. Do you call him frequently? Do you talk to him often?
No, I've talked to him. I've talked to him twice. He loves the fact that I lost weight, and but let me ask you this. Now, I looked up on dryourself.com. The guy's a PhD, and he said, I remember you said chondroitin sulfate mixed with another...
Glucosamine sulfate, yeah. Chondroitin and glucosamine sulfate, yes?
Right, and also Dr. Saul, who is the guy, Andrew Saul, he's the PhD at dryourself.com, who is very much believes the way you believe about, nutrition and health and all. He says also add in some non-GMO vitamin C.
Oh, he actually specified that, huh?
I believe it says NGMO, so I mean...
non-GMO, that's exactly right.
I think he says that.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it on the site, but now Dr. Wallach believes that I could actually rebuild this material in my neck. I mean, I as you know and I know, I can't afford a cervical fusion, for $30,000.
Oh my goodness gracious! For a
insurance.
For numbness on a finger, I think you're getting pretty carried away. Okay,
all right.
When in fact it doesn't have to be any kind of impingement. Let me just say this: in my history of many years of working with pain issues and impingement issues, if there were to be a cervical impingement, that the only way you would know of it is to have some numbness at the end of a finger. I heard you say a finger, right? A finger, one finger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This would be highly irregular. If you're going to have an impingement at the cervical vertebra, you're going to have more symptoms than the numbness of one finger, of one hand, of one extremity. And even if it is, and believe you me, I just right off the top of that wouldn't think of that as the number one thing at the top of the list. But even if it were to be, surgery, you are so far afoul of the treatment order and protocol. The last on the list is surgery. There's so many more things ahead of that. So
well, that's because my buddy down the block, he gave me a nice lecture. He said, well, I had crunching in my neck, and he said, then one of my hands went numb, and then he said about 3 days later I had to get a neck fusion or whatever, and I said, well, thanks, now I'm really scared, So, of course, he had insurance, so,
Well, Danville, look, think some other things now. There can be impingement on the nerve from the neck all the way down to the finger, and that's much more likely than an impingement to the cervical vertebrae itself. In terms of glucose, pardon me?
It pulsates slightly. It's like it pulsates slightly. I'm like, what the heck?
With your heart rate.
Yeah, kind of. No, actually slower than my heart. I mean, I'm crazy. It's funny.
Danville, thanks for sharing with us what you got going on there, and be careful now with Dr. Wallach.
But my heart feels great. Yeah, my resting heart rate's fine. 60, so that's good.
All right, keep on listening and watching, Danville. Thanks for the report. Danville, checking in, ladies and gentlemen. I know you love hearing about the Danville report. Okay, and Dr. Wallach's out there. God bless him. Hey, you're here with us today. Yes, the first day of March. We've turned the page in the month of the year 2010. We're today. We're opening up to you. It's nice to have Danville sort of opening up for all of you. 412-825-6000. 6262. That's 412-825-6262. Look, let's take a short break. We'll come back. Maybe you'll give us a call in the meantime. Got some housekeeping issues to discuss. A lot of these product things are building up. I want to give you the information on how to get in on them. And then we're going to be talking about the 7 foods that will keep you young before the day is out. Be right back.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. You become confused about how best to manage your health. It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instructions, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Have you been to the doctor lately? What's the big top of your complaint list? Even if your doctor asks you what you eat, the recommended 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a dream in your busy schedule. What if you learned of a product 5 years in the formulation that delivers 5 servings of fruits and minerals in just 1 ounce? That's right, it's Fruit of the Spirit. The blessings of Fruit of the Spirit are now formulated into a delicious whole fruit puree product rich in antioxidants and minerals. Your health is more than just a test result. It's a balance of physical, spiritual, and emotional factors. You work regularly to strengthen your faith, but Fruit of the Spirit help cover your nutritional needs in a convenient and cost-effective ounce a day. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, 5 servings of fruits and minerals with no added sugars. That's 1-800-442-3793 for your good health. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you on this, first day of March version of the show. We're opening up to you today, allowing you to come on in if you have a mind to, and set the agenda if you'd like. You can do that in form of a question or form of a comment. The number, as always, is 412-825-6262. I've been waiting for your knock at the door, and I'll kindly let you in the store and let you take over the place for a bit and see if we get a little discussion going. In the meantime, I got some things I want to get off my chest, too. Looking forward tonight, by the way. Going to be out there with Lollipop and her little group at the Franciscan Convent in Castle Shannon, Franciscan Spirit of Life Center. Special event going on there tonight. Looking forward to being out there. Their opening gathering entitled Food Matters. Going to be there from 6:30 to 9:30 tonight at the Franciscan Spirit and Life Center. Looking forward for those who will be there to see you all and have a chance to chit-chat with you. We get ourselves aligned with many of the companies. We really put a full force of our reputation and integrity behind them. There's no finer company that I'd like to be affiliated with than this company called Fruit of the Spirit. You keep hearing the spots done by our good friend Deborah Ray. Every time I hear her, it beckons the need for me to call her to bring her back on the show because she's putting her full force and reputation behind it too. So based on I know how you feel about her and having tried this product and allowing you to try it, this Fruit of the Spirit, which is a daily supplement. It's the greatest tasting stuff going. 14 biblical fruit purees, which tastes so good. 1 ounce every day is the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. Got those 14 fruit purees, alkalinizing minerals from the Dead Sea, resveratrol. You'll love it. And the price is pretty reasonable too. $29 for a bottle of the stuff. It started at $39 when we first developed those initial programs with Deborah Ray, and to see the price go down has been very heartening. I called the company, reason being, used two ways to get this product. One, this 800 number, which very early on we were given. So 1-800-442-3793 is one way to get the product. Just call it up. If you are, and many techie-oriented out there love to dial up the website. The website here is Fruit Spirit, not Fruit of the Spirit, fruitspirit.net. Fruitspirit.net. So I was perusing around the old browser there the other day and found it. And when you go there and you start moving to say you want to order this product, ultimately you move to a screen that allows you a pop-up menu, and there's my name. It'll appear there with about, 15 or 20 other doctors' names throughout the country. But once you click on that, then you're able to get clearance to go ahead and purchase the product online. Many of you, I know, are very computer savvy, computer literate, and would prefer to do it that way. So once again, either use the 800 number, 800-442-3793, or you can use the website at fruitspirit.net and just follow the prompts. You'll get to a screen that lets you just hit a pop-up menu, and then you'll see my name there. Click on that, and then it'll give you the entrance into the site to be able to buy the product at $29. Pretty good deal. Now, I keep also getting phone calls. I got an email this morning. I don't understand it, about the difficulty you're having in getting these transparent holographic chips. By the way, those people out there at the little group tonight with Jean Hanlos, call her Lollipop, Jean Hanlos. I'm bringing the chips with me, and I'll be placing a lot of these chips for free onto many of you. But you've heard me talk about this on this show. We've had Dr. David Potts with us a number of times, and he's quite the expert. Anyway, if you have pain issues, sleep issues, or energy issues, there are 3 chips currently made that may actually help you with any one of those 3 groups of symptoms, and that's found at a website. And the website is, I swear it is, and I know I keep getting emails, we get phone calls here saying, I can't, this doesn't work, it doesn't get me there, I turn to the computer, I hit the same thing I'm telling you to hit, and voila, there it is. Doesn't it look? www.drcourtney, that's D-R-C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y. There's no dot at the end of the doctor. D-R-C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y .Ciara, all one word mishmashed together, C-I-E-A-U-R-A .Ciara.com. Once again, www.drcourtney.ciara, C-I-E-A-U-R-A.com. And I swear it works. And you'll see my name at the opening page, and then just move on through. If you want, you could proceed one or 2 different ways. Either come on in, we'll be seeing you for a consult. During the consult, I'll ask you if you got any one of those 3 issues. If you do, I'll put the chip on you myself, and that'll be your start. And if not, and you don't want to come in, then I'm giving you the website. I promise you it's really there. There's actually a website, and it does work. In my hands, and I'm usually not the computer literate person, 100% of the time. So good luck. Call us. Hey, please, we'll take the phone call. Call us if you have trouble, and we'll try to help you out. Now, I'm hearing some knocks at the door. Why don't we start to open up the store? Come on in. Hello and welcome.
Morning, Dr. Courtney. I heard you mention this link for the plastic chips several times on your radio program, and I'm a fairly regular listener.
Oh, good.
Okay, for when I'm driving in the car. And so since I'm driving, I've never written that down. My suggestion is if you guys put a link on your website, all of your listeners know your website. They can go to your website, click on it, click on the link, and boom, there they go.
I'm going to have my techie do it. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that, but I'll have my techie.
then they don't have to remember this address.
That's so good, because we have really caused people to become frustrated not being able to get the site when I know it's pretty easy to find. Thank you for that suggestion.
No problem. Yep.
Okay. And he's driving, folks. And he can't write it down. We got a problem. Anyway, we're allowing you to come on in the store, 412-825-6262. Come on in, set the agenda. Anything on your mind is okay with me. I believe there's another knock on the door. Come on in the store. Hello, and welcome aboard.
Hi, Dr. Courtney.
Hi.
I also have a suggestion about how to get to the website.
Have you been there?
Yes, I've been there, but unsuccessfully for a few times, and I did call your office on Friday, and while I was on the line, I figured out what I was doing wrong. It depends which search box that you put it into. You know how there's different places at the top, where you can enter when you're looking for something?
Okay, yeah.
I was putting it in my regular kind of search box. It was like Google.
Oh, yeah, you were Googling it instead of putting it in the address box. That'll explain it.
Yes, and so for those who aren't real computer savvy, it's the very top line.
Thank you for that basic instruction. I used to make that mistake all the time myself.
And
still do.
It's the line where it has the HTTP.
There it is.
So once I did that, I got it with no trouble. I also have another comment. Dr. McCullough is supposed to be interviewed today on
Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz.
Yeah. 1 o'clock. Is it 1 o'clock?
He's on from 12:30 to 1:30.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see that, and thanks for mentioning it. As soon as you said it, I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And
another thing, I listened to the doctor that was on with the holographic chips. I listened to him. I listened to it on Friday.
Okay.
But was the show actually done on Wednesday and then?
I'm going to give you the date. There's 2 shows, and I recommend because we don't have the time, obviously, to go. We spent 2 hours. Back on, here's the dates now, you write these down. February 3rd, okay, that was, I call it Dr. Potts Ciara Part 1. And then right away, right the next time that we were together, which was the 5th of February, we had Part 2 with David Potts. So if there's anybody out there that wants to try to not have missed anything about this discussion, I would recommend, as you appear to already have done, go back in the archives, and you'll find all of my shows, every one of them there, and then re-listen to these shows, and it will give you more information than we have time to do right now, because we spent 2 hours on it, on 1 hour piece on 2 successive days. So thanks for asking the question. It's a really good way for a listener who really doesn't understand what we're talking about with Ciara and holographic chips are playing. What the heck is he talking about? Let's just say it's a pretty unique way of treating pain, sleep issues, and energy issues. That's new wave and new technology, and I hope it works for you. I see it working all the time for patients that I apply them to.
Yeah, I think it's a great concept. Actually, I listened to the show on the radio just on Friday.
Okay, because that was a repeat show on Friday.
Okay.
That wasn't live.
Okay.
So
whatever date that was.
That was February 3rd.
Okay, it was a very good show, very easy to understand.
I try to make them that way for my sake, and if I could simplify it for me, I know I'll simplify it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and keep on listening. Thank you. By the way, that was a real good explanation for why people were having trouble finding that website. You're Googling it.
Yeah, it can be so frustrating.
Hey, thank you very much for your phone call, young lady. Okay.
Thanks.
There you have it. There's an explanation of what's going on. You see how it works here. We sort of help each other out. Anything on your mind turns out to be on the mind of others, and this thing about Ciara has certainly caused a major, major problem with allowing people to go find out more information about it. I'm going to talk to the techie, get a link, and maybe make it so easy where if you go to, by the way, my website address, and we should probably mention all the shows, everyone. And I'm talking about shows now. I looked at the other day, going back to 2006. I mean, here we are. We're starting 2010. So there's 4 years of shows there on the website. I know it's a pretty amazing thing, but it's nice to know they're there. And just browse through the large listing of the guests we've had over those 4 years, and it'll knock out a morning for you. If you got a free hour sometime, you'll absolutely enjoy going back and just picking one. Maybe you hadn't heard before, or maybe you have. So my website address is www.djc, that's Dennis J. Courtney, of course, djcmd.com, and that's pretty easy to find. Hey, I hear another knock on the door. Come on in the store. Hello, and welcome aboard.
Good morning, Dr. Courtney.
Hi.
Hi, I'm glad she mentioned that Joe Mercola being on Dr.
Oz, yeah.
That is today?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Because if someone can't watch it on Channel 11 from 12:30 to 1:30, it's repeated on PCNC, which is our Comcast 31, from 3 p.m. until 4. So if for some reason, maybe someone has an early shift and thinks he's going to miss it, and come home and still watch it.
Thanks for that bit of information. That helps a lot, because I'll tell you, the working public doesn't have the time between 12:30 and 1:30. If you got a DVR, that's easy to handle, but if you don't, that's a little problematic.
And the question I had for you was, I just recently noticed it's hard for me to see during the night. Not just driving, but like in a dark room. It's very hard. I never really noticed it before, and I guess it's been a slow progression. It's hard for me to see during the night. What is that?
Oh, boy. There are so many chemicals that are needed at the retina to be able to cause vision to be sharp at all times, especially when there's a light issue going on. This is a nutrient issue. I really feel that's the primary basis behind anything that isn't functioning right. You don't have enough of something, or you got too much of something else. I know your history that you pretty much followed the golden rule, but I also know.
I take some lutein, some bilvit.
Yeah.
Even the HA I heard was good for night vision.
And, yeah.
There's a couple other things, the eye bright. But honestly, I hate to bring it up again, but honestly, I noticed this after that LV treatment I had.
There you go. There's that life vessel thing.
I didn't notice it right away, but within the last 3 or 4 months, I noticed it harder to see, to pick out objects or to read. So normally, I wouldn't have that problem.
Well, I also know, and I know your history very well, because of your diabetes.
Yes.
These difficulties with vision absolutely could have it associated with that. I would say, look, we're going to have Dr. Ed come on back. I know you called him last time he was online, but he's going to be back on the 15th. And give us a call on that day, and let him answer that one directly, okay? And let's see if we can get an answer for not just you, but for others. But I think you can't ignore that pathology that comes with the diabetes.
The last time that he was in, I had called, your show. First time, he was coming to Pittsburgh, and I had called that number to make a reservation for the seminar to have some testing done. And they called me it must have been 5-6 days later, and they said, sorry, it's all been filled up. And I called that first day that he was on the air with you. So is it going to be all filled up again?
Well, I think that this show has helped Dr. Ed fill that thing up. I know when I went to the free seminar, the room was packed, and the majority of people that I met there said, well, we heard about this on your radio show. So we got a lot of enthusiasm generated. The room had at least, I'm going to say, 80 people in it, 60 or 80 people, and I don't know how many wanted to participate in the treatment, but he could only do 12 at a time. That's why he's coming back in March.
Well, the woman who had called me during that time, was taking the reservations for people who wanted to schedule those appointments with him at that seminar.
Yes.
He had said that over 60% of them were from people out of state.
Oh, yeah, that is true. They came from...
I think they're so backed up from wherever he
yeah.
People follow him.
Hey, there are a lot of folks with, and here you are. You got a vision issue.
And it's hard for when someone right here locally wants to make an appointment, because if he goes, even to Virginia or something and has a seminar, it makes it a little bit harder for someone like me.
Well, I tell you what, I'll make sure I have the. Do you have the phone number still? You don't have that phone number, which is to the office out there, and I'm gonna. I promise I'll announce that phone number on Wednesday. Be listening so you can call out there to make certain that if you wanted to be seen, that you can enroll. And I don't actually know. No, when we had Ed here last week, this thing wasn't filled up just yet because I know that we were talking about and that those who wanted to be treated could be. We didn't really get into numbers. I didn't ask the question, but it was still open as of last week.
Okay.
I wonder if there's an opening now. I'll give you the number on Wednesday. How's that?
Okay, sounds great.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah. Dr. Ed coming to town. He gets a lot of folks stirred up. We're stirring you up today, too. Look, you want to give us a call and keep the thing going, keep this thing churning. 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Yes, Dr. McCullough on the Dr. Oz show today, 12:30 to 1:30. I guess Channel 11. My listeners are wonderful at this. I saw that note on the website that I'm going to be quoting from here. Because McCullough had a neat little thing. I always love lists. Sort of why I think Letterman is so successful with his top 10. We got a top 7 foods to keep you young. Going to talk about them. Why don't we do this? Let's take a short break. And when we return, I'll have at it. I'll go through that list. You may have a question or two to ask or comment to add with the list. You may want to talk about something completely different. Let's take a short break. Be back in a moment.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for fries, pizza, and burgers, giving your family the blessing of good nutrition is a struggle. Fruit of the Spirit is the answer for your family's nutritional needs. Fruit of the Spirit is an all-natural whole fruit puree made from fresh fruits native to the Holy Land with alkalizing minerals. Fruit of the Spirit was 5 years in the formulation, the work of a team of top nutritional experts with independent science to confirm its antioxidant power. 1 ounce a day provides the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and minerals. Fruit of the Spirit is convenient, affordable, and delicious. Even your picky family will sing the praises of Fruit of the Spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you were looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Good morning and welcome back. We're here with you today on this first day of March, welcoming you aboard and allowing you to set the agenda on our show called AM Impact on Your Health. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you, as I am always with you, each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 here on KHB 620. Today we have literally opened it up for you to commandeer the thing and set the agenda if you'd like. 412-825-6262 is the phone number to do just that, 412-825-6262. I'll be listening for a knock on the door, and I'll let you in the store, and let's see, well, we'll just have at it and find out what's on your mind. As I was going, and I usually do, catching up with my emails and going to the computer, came across the Mercola email that I keep getting, and I always like lists. They resonate with me well, and this little interesting list talking about Joe Mercola, who, no doubt about it, the guy's got the best website of all the alternatively oriented websites. But he had this little thing that caught my attention called 7 Superfoods That Will Keep You Young. Now, of course, Dr. McCullough, as well as here on our show. We're always talking about, nutrition and how nutrition will keep you young. But then to grab 7 out of the long list of foods that are potentially consumable and citing them as superfoods, well, that is a little bit special. Now, we're going to take the time. I'll make sure we get all 7 in here. I do hear a knock at the door. Why don't we come on in the store? Hello, and welcome aboard.
Good morning, Dr. Courtney.
Hi.
I have 2 questions. What do you know about avascular necrosis? In 4 months, I had to have both my hips replaced, and that was the final diagnosis. And the thing was, I've never been on steroids. I've never had chemotherapy, none of those things. And I worry about the possibility of this going into my knees and my shoulders, which I understand
it can
happen too.
Yeah.
And my other question is slow stomach. Do you recommend just a good digestive enzyme or something more?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. You probably want to listen to this off air. Go right ahead. Talking about, by the way, you've had hip replacement, have you?
Yes, in 4 months. In the last 4 months, I've had them both replaced.
Had them both replaced. Yeah, you're talking about probably the number one cause for, without a doubt, no hesitation. Sometimes hip surgery can be just if there's a painful issue. Think as to whether you do the hip surgery, done hip surgery, it is pretty left up to the patient and the doctor. But when it comes to avascular necrosis, the choices will seem to be erased, and that's what prompted the need for this particular patient, I'm sure, to have such intervention in such a short span of time. Avascular necrosis, as it's a confusing conundrum of some words, but the blood supply to the head of the femur, largest bone in the body, the long bone of the body, is suddenly robbed, or could be protracted and slowed down over time. But finally, not enough blood supply goes to the head of the femur. This is that large bone that got the ball on the end of it that goes into the pelvis and forms the articulation of the hip. And so that the fact that the blood supply is cut off of, diminished from the head of the femur, allows that to become a very vulnerable structure, easily broken, brittle and broken, and obviously will have to be replaced. Total hip replacement is the absolute solution for it, and there are patients who have a predilection and predisposition to developing avascular necrosis. Every person who gets hip replacement does not get hip replacement because of avascular necrosis. But, and as I've already said, normally whenever avascular necrosis, as well as a few other diagnoses, are not present, then it becomes more of an elective rather than a obligatory procedure. But in avascular necrosis, hey, it's pretty much once the entire head of the femur snaps, becomes broken, obviously walking is no longer possible, and there's going to have to be surgical intervention on the spot. The fact that this woman had 2 surgeries within 4 months. They do 1 hip at a time. They never do 2 hips at the same time. At least I've never been involved with a surgery of that type. So I think, and by the way, the issue of how do you get a blood supply to the other articular surfaces is a very interesting issue that you raised. Ma'am, please come in. We need to talk about perfusing these regions of the body in a way that keeps them from becoming necrotic. And the plan that needs to be put in play would be a nutritional one, it would be a detoxification one, and it would be a physical one, especially through the use of something called ECP. Come on in so we can talk about it, because I think with your predilection, you do have a legitimate concern in talking about, geez, I wonder if this could happen in my shoulders and other very important joints. Also, you're talking about motility, talking about slow transit times, GI transit times, I think is the way I'll characterize what your question was. And you mentioned enzymes, absolutely important. Of course, the regularity, moving things through this GI tract, can also be extremely aided and assisted through the use of the proper amounts of fiber. Can increase that fiber in the diet, whether through the foods, the cruciferous vegetables, the leafy green vegetables certainly are one of the main food sources for it, but also too fiber supplementation is the best way to maintain hydration throughout the entire GI tract, to keep that motility moving within the musculature and peristaltic wave that gets generated with each swallowing maneuver in the throat and gets carried throughout the entire, 30, 40 feet worth of the GI tract. So good question. Good luck. Come on in to see us. By the way, we need to talk about what to do in the cases of the avascular necrosis. Now, 412-825-6262. We'll get you on in the store here, 412-825-6262. Be waiting to hear your knock at the door. Talking about looking at the Mercola website, catching my eye at least, maybe your ear in the same fashion. 7 superfoods that'll keep you young. Let's find out what these 7 foods are that Mercola felt were important enough to list. And as I read through them, as I did have read through them, he makes good points in all cases. The number 1, and they are listed here in order, I believe, of their importance. I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll get this phone call. Whey protein. Not really a food, actually a supplement. Whey protein. Why does he put it at the top of the list? I'll get back to you on that one in just a moment. Let's find out who our caller is and what's on their mind. Come on in the store. Hello and welcome aboard.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Courtney.
Yes.
I see Dr. Conrad coming back to Pittsburgh. When he was here in Pittsburgh, when he lived here, he was signing up people who had macular degeneration and chelation. Did he ever publish the results of his study?
I'm not too sure he was doing a study. He may have done an internal study. I've never heard him talk about that study. However, too, it may be something that he mentions in his new book. I'm going to have him on the show next Monday, and I'll ask him that very question. Because, yes, he did chelation therapy, as we all have done. There's a core, about 4 or 5 of us in the western Pennsylvania area. Dr. Conrad was one. Sorry that we lost him to Phoenix when he comes back in town. However, even at these conferences, we end up doing, we start people on chelation therapy, and then I'm usually one of the docs, at least, that maintains that after he leaves. So I don't, and I'm not sure if he ran the stats. When I hear you say that, I keep thinking of the TACT trial, TACT trial, the trial for the advancement of chelation therapy that's being run by the federal government, and he was not a participant in that. So I'm a little confused about, statistically, the best thing that I thought was coming down the pike was the TACT trial. That's still going on. It hasn't finished, therefore we don't have the results yet. Did he, meaning Dr. Conrad, have results that he could share with us?
Yeah, he was signing up people for, I guess, wet type, dry type macular for, I guess, like you say, a personal study, but I never heard if he ever...
Yeah, now if he was working on a personal study, he never revealed that to me. I'll ask him that question as well as, does he have any openings in his group coming to town on the 21st of March? I promise those 2 questions will get asked on Monday, all right?
Okay, well, actually, the third question for him, or second question for him, the question to you, kind of a comment question. Last issue, January, February 2010, Discover magazine, there was a small blurb in there about doctors in Italy are using eye drops with a type of human growth factor in it, I guess, that are, let's say correcting cataracts and glaucoma in a short period of time. I've heard of that or not, or... the eye drop thing, and, I want to ask him about... with the Russians, we've been using a product here for the longest time that we now have to get from Great Britain. Yeah, that lowered my eye. That did lower my eye pressures. Yeah.
That's so wonderful to hear. I know it was helpful, and I don't know what they're doing in Italy. And not being an ophthalmologist, although it would be of interest to me, it would definitely, absolutely be something that would be on the veritable tongue tip and fingertips of Dr. Conrad. I'll ask about it. My question list is mounting for the gentleman.
I think, yes, it's the latest issue of Discover Magazine.
Discover Magazine. Okay, but that usually when they hit the Discover Magazine, they've already hit the professional literature 6 months to 8 months before that. He's the guy, meaning Dr. Conrad, that gets that literature. He'll know about it and probably be able to add to what that little blurb mentioned and make it a big blurb for us, all right?
All right, thank you very much.
Absolutely, great question.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Here we are. You see how it works? 412-825-6262. My question list for Dr. Conrad is mounting. Talking about Mercola's list of 7 superfoods that'll keep you young. He said whey protein is the number one food. Actually, he says it looks funny I'm mentioning it. A food. It's not really a food. It's a supplement. Turns out that the reason he says it is that whey has been shown to increase your body stores of this antioxidant, your body's own antioxidant called glutathione. And this glutathione is known to increase the integrity of, here's a little technical word here, telomeres. And telomeres are bundles of DNA found in every cell that shorten with age. So now you're seeing the explanation for why whey protein is in the number 1 spot. It's its ability to increase glutathione, which will increase telomere length, which appears, and I had obviously the DNA changes as we age, and this attempts to restore it. So good explanation as to why he's got it in the number 1 slot. Guess what he's got in the number 2 slot? And this came up not too long ago when we were talking about antioxidants. And I'm going to emphasize the word raw. I'm going to emphasize the word organic. And then I'm going to put in the final word, raw organic eggs. He wants you to eat, as he did before, raw organic eggs. Range-fed, not commercially raised chickens. They say eggs are another superfood. Research has ended the debate. There's no link between egg consumption and heart disease, which has been one of the big things that we can count on our conventional medicine to have misread and misnamed over time. It was, you were told to avoid them, worrying about cholesterol in eggs. And so they say a single egg contains 9 essential amino acids, 6 grams of high-quality protein, lutein, zeaxanthin for the eyes, and there's a couple things that one was asking about. The night blindness was having some trouble with. Choline for the brain, and naturally occurring vitamin D. So raw, not cooked, raw organic eggs, emphasizing the raw. That's number 2. Number 3, won't be a surprise here. Just a general category. Leafy greens in the number 3 slot, like eggs or leafy greens, are such as spinach, kale, turnip greens, collards, romaine. They're all great sources of lutein, and zeaxanthin. Studies have shown that eating foods in these are rich in antioxidants and significantly reduce your risk of AMD. What do you think that is? Age-related macular degeneration, talking about eye issues, and that leafy green vegetables play an important role. That's the number 3 slot. The number 4 slot, singling out a vegetable, broccoli. Eat your broccoli, as your mom told you. Broccoli is another dark green antioxidant-rich vegetable in the cruciferous family with near miraculous powers of healing and disease prevention. Broccoli contains high amounts of isothiocyanates, a cancer-fighting compound in all crunchy vegetables. They also work by turning on cancer-fighting genes. Other vegetables that have the same ability to bring to you isothiocyanates include things like Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. This is the cruciferous family: cabbage, arugula, watercress, and horseradish. The number 5 slot. Here comes the berries. All sorts of berries. The number 5 slot. Blueberries, he puts as the number 1. He's a powerful powerhouse of nutrition, ranking very top of the list from fresh fruits and vegetables. They're full of antioxidants, and the list goes on and on and on. They reduce your cancer risk. They reduce cholesterol levels. They prevent heart disease. They protect from Alzheimer's. That's an antioxidant component. Don't have to get carried away with just blueberries. He says, hey, black raspberries, cherries, strawberries, blackberries, cranberries, all these berries. The acai, he made it on the list. The acai berry from Brazil contains antioxidants with the power to destroy cultured human cancer cells. That is the number 5. The number 6 slot. Interesting that another supplement makes this list, and that supplement, you hear it mentioned many, many times, chlorella. Single-cell freshwater algae plant, often referred to as a near-perfect food, boosts your immune system, enhances your ability to focus and concentrate, increases your energy level, balances your pH. It's the big known heavy metal detoxifier. Big on the detoxifier, especially with heavy metals, and it's particularly with mercury. And I believe that's the main thing that most folks who have called up before and in our discussion, chlorella is always mentioned as a great supplement to take for a natural chelation as opposed to a chemical. And no argument there. The number 7, we said there are 7 foods. Garlic, he says, the stinking rose, I got a quotation mark, the component of garlic allicin, which causes a familiar strong smell and flavor, is actually an extremely effective antioxidant. As allicin digests in your body, it produces sulfonic acid, a compound that reacts faster with dangerous free radicals than any other known compound. Didn't know that. That's interesting. Garlic is also a triple threat against infections. It's antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. You know what didn't make this list? Oregano. And I wonder why. They say that the garlic is effective against killing antibiotic-resistant bacteria, including MRSA. The list goes on and on and on and on. And there you have it. The 7 foods that will help keep you young, as listed by Joe Mercola on his website. Look, I think he just does a great job, and I love lists, and I love bringing them to you. You can comment on any one of those if you want. If not, we can put it aside, and it's now in the archives and is listed in the archives as these 7 most important foods to keep you young. You'll find it there for March 1st, 2010. Got a few minutes left. Let's take a quick break. 412-825-6262. We're coming down the gun lab, folks. Got a few minutes left. We'll be back in a moment. See what's on your mind and the salutations for the show coming up on Wednesday. Be back in a moment.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. You become confused about how best to manage your health. It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Have you been to the doctor lately? Was fatigue top of your complaint list? Even if your doctor asks you what you eat, the recommended 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a dream in your busy schedule. What if you learned of a product 5 years in the formulation that delivers 5 servings of fruits and minerals in just 1 ounce? That's right, it's Through the Spirit. The blessings of Through the Spirit are now formulated into a delicious whole fruit puree product rich in antioxidants and minerals. Your health is more than just a test result.
Dr. Courtney, when you come back on, you'll have only about a minute and a half.
Okay, thank you.
Let Through the Spirit help cover your nutritional nutritional needs in a convenient and cost-effective ounce a day. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit the Spirit, 5 servings of fruits and minerals with no added sugars. That's 1-800-442-3793 for your good health. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to AIM Impact on Your Health. We're here in the gun lab, literally in the last half of the gun lab. We're coming right down the home stretch. Got a minute or two left. Just wanted to sort of pull it all together. Really enjoyed speaking with you today, and we'll be looking forward to bringing Raymond Francis here on Wednesday, talking about cancer. I'm dying to find out how he simplified cancer. He certainly simplified the entire issue of disease, and now focusing in on cancer as he has in his new book will be a great hour on Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. I was spending some time off air writing down my Dr. Condrot questions. I got 4 questions here. I'll have the phone number on Wednesday. You want to be here for that. Those who are interested in getting involved in the treatment program that will be conducted starting, literally on the 22nd of March. Free seminar going to be on the 21st at the Marriott Airport Inn out there on the Moon Run exit just past Robinson Township now, going out the Parkway toward the airport. Also, too, didn't mention anything today about, and want to do so, Advanced Diabetic Solutions. We've got a heck of a display in the office. If you are diabetic, footwear becomes a very important part of your overall hygiene issue because of the predisposition and predilection that the diabetics have for developing wounds in the foot, which can lead to terrible consequences. Anyway, you want to stop in the office, pick up a catalog, check out these shoes, which in a case of a diabetic, insurance covers them, folks, and also many of your diabetic supplies also covered and literally delivered to you. We'd like to be able to help out the diabetic population. You can call up and get more information on it. Do hear bongos in the background, signaling our time out of here for today. Don't forget Wednesday, I already talked about Raymond Francis. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney saying so long for AIM Impact on Your Health.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3070